E a lelé são duas garotas do desacato. A lalá e a lelé provocam as centenas de fuzilados. A lalá e a lelé são duas.
Here, the experience is brilliant because there were people here, as you say, from all different cultures and things. And when you can all speak English, the ones that speak English, even here speak. Douglas keeps saying he can't speak English, but it's very good, really. You can actually communicate with them and then find out what they felt about things, and then you just end up talking to them and asking them about their own.
Because you know, to go to the theatre is something we know is expensive. It's not just to go to the theatre. When you go out to go to the theatre, you spend your money for other things. What today, in these days, travel, food, everything, and then these days, yes, it's the main thing today is money. It's not just for us, for everyone. When you bring the theatre to your house, to your home, I think it's a kind of fun. You can invite your friends, your friends enjoy it.
I think I've never really been a great theatre buff and this sort of stuff in the past, but seeing here tonight, home theatre, I think it's got some real positives for getting messages across. Small audiences, but pick the audiences and those people who get the message to the communities. And I think that's really good. I think it works in London, it could work around the country.
The teacher was fat, big and silent, with hunched shoulders. And I was attracted to him. Quiet down, young lady, or I'll send you out of the classroom. I had recently turned 9. In the morning, as I passed through the school gates, walking along all pure with my milky coffee and scrubbed face, it was a shock to bump into, in flesh and blood, the man who had made me fantasize for an abysmal minute before falling asleep. In the morning, face to face with that big man in his short jacket, in a collision I was launched into shame, bewilderment and frightening hope. Each day renewed the meagre struggle I had initiated for that man's salvation. I wished for his well-being, and in return he hated me. It's true that not even I really knew what I was doing. My life with the teacher was invisible. The antipathy that man felt for me was so strong that I hated myself. As for learning, I learnt nothing during those lessons. I was already too caught up in the game of making him unhappy. Enduring my long legs and always worn out shoes with brazen bitterness. Humiliated at not being a flower. I would haughtily toss my sole treasure, the straight hair that I planned to be beautiful someday with a perm, and that, bearing the future in mind, I'd already practiced tossing. My joys kept me busy. There were the storybooks that I read, there were boys I had chosen and who hadn't chosen me. Not to mention that I was permanently busy wanting or not wanting to be what I was. Having been born meant being full of mistakes to correct. No, I wasn't to annoy the teacher that I didn't study. All I had time for was growing up, which I was doing all over, with an awkwardness that seemed more like the result of a mathematical error. My legs didn't go with my eyes, and my mouth was emotional, while my fidgety hands would get dirty. It's too bad the teacher never saw what I unexpectedly became 4 years later. At 13, my hands clean, freshly bathed, all nice and composed. He would have seen me standing there like a Christmas decoration on the balcony of a house. But instead of him, it was an ex-classmate walking by who yelled my name. "What is it?" I inquired of the intruder with utmost coldness. That's when I received the screaming news that the teacher had died that morning. And pale, eyes wide open, I had looked down at the vertiginous street at my feet, my composure broken like a doll in two. Going back 4 years earlier, maybe it was because of everything I've mentioned that I wrote the composition the teacher had assigned. I'm going to tell you a story, and you're all going to write it down. A very poor man dreamed he had found some treasure and become very rich. When he woke up, he readied his pack and set out in search of the treasure. He wandered all over the world, on and on, without ever finding the treasure. Worn out, he returned to his poor, poor little house, and since he had nothing to eat, he began to plant things in his poor yard. So much did he plant, so much did he harvest, so much did he begin to sell, that he ended up becoming very rich. I listened with an air of contempt. It was almost 10 in the morning. Soon the break bell would ring. I was nearing the end of my composition. I hurried. Since I knew only how to use my own words, writing was simple. What also made me hurry was the desire to be the first to walk across the classroom and instantly turn in my composition, thereby demonstrating my quickness. I handed in my exercise book, and he took it without even looking at me. Feeling wronged, with no praise for my speed, I went skipping off to the big park. In the midst of our rowdy games, I decided to go look in my desk for something I don't recall. Dripping with sweat, flushed with an irrepressible happiness that would have got me smacked at home, I flew toward the classroom, and so carelessly that I didn't see the teacher leafing through the notebooks piled on his desk. Already holding the thing I had gone to get, only then did my gaze stumble on the man. Alone at his post, he was looking at me. It was the first time we'd come face to face. I tried to smile. A bead of sweat ran down my forehead. He was looking at me. His gaze was a soft, heavy paw on me. I started backing up against the wall, eyes lowered. My smile had crystallized the room in silence. That's when I heard my name. Sophia. Suddenly, nailed to the ground, there I stood, with my back to him, lacking the courage to turn around. I turned slowly. At the sound of my name, the room had been dehypnotized. And very slowly, I saw that the teacher was very big and very ugly, and that he was the man of my life. Come closer. For the first time, ignorance abandoned me. My father was at work. My mother had died months ago. I was the only I. Take your notebook. So that was it? I reached out my hand while stammering. But the teacher didn't move and didn't hand over the notebook. He started slowly removing his glasses. I had never seen his eyes that, with their innumerable eyelashes, looked like two sweet cockroaches. And I hadn't learned how to exist in front of a man. How did the idea of the treasure in disguise occur to you? What treasure? Oh, the treasure. The treasure that's hidden where you at least expect it, that all you have to do is find. Who told you that? No one really. I made it up myself. I looked at him, intrigued. His lack of anger had started to scare me. What did he want from me? And my stomach filled with a nauseous liquid. I can't explain it. Bristling, about to vomit, I saw something forming on his face. I saw the grimace slowly hesitating and bursting through a crust, until the man's effort reached a peak of full awareness, and in a childish victory he showed that he was smiling. It was too soon for me to see all that. They were asking too much of my bravery simply because I was brave. Your composition about the treasure is so lovely, the treasure that you just have to discover. You're a very funny girl. It was the first real shame in my life. I preferred his former rage. What I didn't want was this gratitude. He seemed like a beggar thanking someone for a plate of food without noticing that he'd been given rotten meat. You're a silly little thing, he said, putting on that smile again, like a boy sleeping with his new shoes on. I made up that whole story about the treasure in disguise. It's just stuff for little girls. Could he mean that I was a treasure in disguise? Oh, no, poor little thing, poor thing, that king of creation. You're a very funny girl. You're a silly little thing. It was like a love. No, I wasn't funny. I was very serious. And for God's sake, I wasn't a treasure. Because it had fallen to me, of all people, with all my claws and dreams, to pluck the barbed arrow from his heart.
O professor era gordo, grande e silencioso, de ombros contraídos. E eu era atraída por ele. Eu tinha 9 anos e pouco. De manhã, ao atravessar os portões da escola, pura como ia com meu café com leite e a cara lavada, era um choque deparar em carne e osso com um homem que me fizera devanear por um abismal minuto antes de dormir. De manhã, diante do homem grande, com seu paletó curto, em choque eu era jogada na vergonha, na perplexidade e na assustadora esperança. Cada dia renovava-se a mesquinha luta pela salvação daquele homem. Eu queria o seu bem. E em resposta, ele me odiava. É verdade que nem eu mesma sabia ao certo o que fazia. Minha vida com o professor era invisível. A antipatia que esse homem sentia por mim era tão forte que eu me detestava. Aprender, eu não aprendia naquelas aulas. O jogo de torná-lo infeliz já me tomara demais. Suportando com desenvolta a amargura as minhas pernas compridas, os sapatos, sempre cambaios, humilhada por não ser uma flor, sacudia com altivez a minha única riqueza. Os cabelos escorridos, que eu planejava ficarem um dia bonitos com permanente, e que por conta do futuro, eu já exercitava sacudindo-os. As alegrias me ocupavam. Havia os livros de história, havia os meninos que eu escolhera e que não me haviam escolhido, sem falar que eu estava permanentemente ocupada em querer e não querer ser o que eu era. Ter nascido era cheio de erros a corrigir. Não era para irritar o professor que eu não estudava. Só tinha tempo de crescer. O que eu fazia para todos os lados com uma falta de graça que mais parecia o resultado de um erro de cálculo. As pernas não combinavam com os olhos, a boca era emocionada, enquanto as mãos se esgalhavam sujas. Na minha pressa, eu crescia sem saber para onde. Foi pena o professor não ter chegado a ver aquilo, em que 4 anos depois, inesperadamente, eu me tornaria. Aos 13 anos, de mãos limpas, banho tomado, toda composta e bonitinha. Ele me teria visto como um cromo de Natal à varanda de um sobrado. Mas, em vez dele, passara embaixo um ex-amiguinho meu. Gritara alto meu nome. Que é? Indaguei do intruso com a maior frieza. Recebi, então, como resposta gritada, a notícia de que o professor morrera naquela madrugada. E branca, de olhos muito abertos, eu olhara a rua vertiginosa a meus pés, minha compostura quebrada como a de uma boneca partida. Voltando a 4 anos atrás, foi talvez por tudo que contei que escrevi a composição que o professor mandara. Vou contar uma história, disse ele, e vocês façam a composição, mas usando as palavras de vocês. O que ele contou? Um homem muito pobre sonhara que descobrira um tesouro e que ficara muito rico. Acordando, arrumara sua trouxa, saíra em busca do tesouro. Andara o mundo inteiro sem encontrar o tesouro. Cansado, voltara para sua pobre casinha. Sem ter o que comer, começara a plantar no seu pobre quintal. Tanto plantara, tanto colhera, que acabara se tornando um homem muito rico. Ouvi com ar de desprezo. Eram quase 10 horas da manhã. Em breve soaria a sineta do recreio. Eu estava no fim da composição. Apressei-me. Como só sabia usar minhas próprias palavras, escrever era simples. Apressava-me também o desejo de ser a primeira a atravessar a sala e entregar-lhe insolente a composição, demonstrando-lhe assim minha rapidez, qualidade que me parecia essencial para se viver, e que eu tinha certeza o professor só podia admirar. Entreguei o caderno e ele o recebeu sem ao menos me olhar. Melindrada, sem um elogio pela minha velocidade, saí pulando para o grande parque. No meio das violentas brincadeiras, resolvi buscar na minha carteira, não me lembro o que, toda molhada de suor, vermelha de uma felicidade represável que se fosse em casa me valeria uns tapas, Voei em direção à sala de aula. E tão estabanada que não vi o professor a folhear os cadernos empilhados sobre a mesa. Já tendo na mão a coisa que eu fora buscar, só então meu olhar tropeçou no homem. Sozinho, à cátedra, ele me olhava. Era a primeira vez que estávamos frente a frente. Tentei sorrir. Uma gota de suor correu-me pela testa. Ele me olhava. O olhar parecia uma pata macia e pesada sobre mim. Comecei a costear a parede de olhos baixos. Meu sorriso cristalizara a sala em silêncio. Foi quando ouvi meu nome. Sophia! De súbito, pregada ao chão, ali fiquei de costas para ele sem coragem de me voltar. Virei-me devagar. Ao som de meu nome, a sala se deshipnotizara. E bem devagar, vi que o professor era muito grande e muito feio. E que ele era o homem da minha vida. Chegue mais perto. Pela primeira vez, a ignorância desamparava-me. Meu pai estava no trabalho. Minha mãe morrera há meses. Eu era o único eu. Pegue o seu caderno. Estendi a mão gaguejante, mas o professor ficou imóvel e não me entregou o caderno. Foi lentamente tirando os óculos. Eu nunca tinha visto seus olhos, que com inúmeras pestanas pareciam duas baratas doces. E eu não soube como existir na frente de um homem. Como é que lhe veio a ideia do tesouro? Tesouro? Que tesouro? Ah, o tesouro. O tesouro está onde menos se espera, que é só descobrir. Quem lhe disse isso? Ninguém, ora. Eu mesma inventei. Foi a primeira vergonha real de minha vida. Preferia a sua cólera antiga. Eu não queria era esse agradecimento. O professor parecia um mendigo que agradecesse o prato de comida sem perceber que lhe haviam dado carne estragada. Você é uma menina muito engraçada. Você é uma doidinha. Disse ele, usando outra vez o sorriso como um menino que dorme com um sapato de nariz. Essa história de tesouro disfarçado foi inventada. É coisa só pra menina. Estaria ele querendo dizer que eu era um tesouro disfarçado? Ah, não. Coitadinho dele. Coitado daquele rei da criação. Você é uma doidinha. Era como um amor. Não. Eu não era engraçada. Eu era muito séria. E por Deus, eu não era um tesouro. Pois logo a mim, tão cheia de garras e sonhos, coubera arrancar de seu coração a flecha farpada.
e a lelé são duas garotas do desacato. A lá lá e a lelé provocam as cenas de pugilar.